Y'all just saw this video on tipping and tips, and I've been a waitress for like a long time. I'm not offended by tips. The only thing is that when you turn in your tips, you have to pay taxes on your tips. So sometimes people don't want the tips because they have to pay taxes on them, because they are that honest, they'll turn in the tips. The other problem with that is that this guy saying that when he was in Japan, that's what happened. It's like, well, they probably had to pay taxes on the tips. So the other part of that is that the woman is saying, well, it was a horrible thing for the black people to make tips. And it's really not, because nobody is checking your wages. You understand what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's just like you actually make more with the tips. And it's actually a good history lesson, because that's why you see when we first started waitressing, when they started paying waitresses by the hour, it was like $2.14. That's why I be wondering, why is this shit $2.14? Because your tips are so good. So now let me tell y'all why this might have came up. Because when I was working at Big C's, Zeke, the foreigner, he wrote that shit down because he was being rude. So then when I get to my next job at Panera Bread, they didn't even give me my tips. And then when they found out they had to give me the tips, they actually fired me before they gave me the tips. And then the same thing happened in Sauce on the Side. They gave me the tips, but they probably got them from Panera Bread, and Panera Bread probably gave them the tips to give to me. So then in turn, they never really paid me my tips. So then you see that and you think that it's saying something about the people that made tips back in the day. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I make good ass tips. If I was just to work for tips at any fucking job, I'm about to bring home $500 to $1,000 a day. It's not a joke. I'm just a good person. I'm gonna give you good ass service, and they gonna get the service for that $500 to $1,000 a day. I'm talking about, I'm about to check all the motherfucking boxes. I makes money, baby. So don't stop these tips. Keep them coming. So look, y'all, Zeke never stole the money. He was just joking. So when they got to the next job, they didn't know anything because the person was just joking. So when they did it, they found out, I guess, that the person never took anything, right? So, but this is the kicker. Now, my shit is being analyzed by black men, and black men keep thinking that this is something that they have to make a point to do. I have other shit to do. But so many black men are so busy wanting to see my vagina jump that I can't get the fuck away from them. You understand what I'm saying? They want me to hear them talk about my pussy, so then I would then therefore maybe be turned on and let them touch it one day, and that's not going to be the truth. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I have to be let go of, because I am not, what is the movie with the lions? I'm not Cookie. You understand what I'm saying? That nigga might have wanted a cookie, but I'm not Cookie. Y'all understand what I'm talking about?
To get tips, and they used us for free labor after emancipation. Man, y'all gonna need to take y'all J out for this one.
But restaurants and rail operators like the Pullman Company embraced tipping because it allowed them, among other things, to hire recently freed slaves without having to pay them.
The idea stuck because at emancipation, the restaurant lobby wanted the right to hire newly freed slaves and not pay them anything and have them live entirely on tips. And so tipping remained as a replacement for wages rather than an extra or bonus as it had always been. So it's really important to understand that tipping didn't originate with slavery, but slavery in the U.S. mutated the notion of tipping from being an extra or bonus on top of the wage to becoming a replacement for wages.
The restaurant industry, in retaliation, restaurants began hiring more women.
Truly, the entrance of women and black people into the industry reduced the wage down to zero. And you saw many instances in Jim Crow after emancipation where black people were actually charged to work as shoe shiners for tips or as waiters for tips. So charged for the privilege of getting tips from white customers.
This is why when I lived in Japan, they hated tips. They said it was disrespectful.